To start with, the art in this is cute, but it is very inconsistent. The heads and eyes are humongous, which probably doesn't help things on that front. However, I have to say, many of the smut scenes are beautiful. Sei Yuen in particular with his Ahegao face is everything. While I wouldn't say this is worth reading for the art overall, the smut scenes may be worth it. It's not revolutionary. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but if they got one thing right, it's the sexy time, and I can appreciate that. The story, however, is chaos. This is a super short title with only 24 main episodes, so it's not going to be the most in-depth story, but what story there is nonsensical. Sei Yuen does everything he can to make Jiangwoo hate him, or at the very least, make Jiangwoo think he hates him. Every time Sei Yuen sees him, he runs the other way. When they talk, Sei Yuen keeps it short and tries to leave at the earliest opportunity. There are multiple times during flashbacks where their mutual friend tries to set up a time for all three to hang out, but as soon as Jiangwoo joins in, Sei Yuen drops out. Yet Sei Yuen was shocked that Jiangwoo and others thought he hated him. It makes zero sense. Sure, Sei Yuen may be an airhead, but this level of social ineptness boggles my mind. It's also painfully annoying how much Sei Yuen tries to avoid Jiangwoo. I can understand him wanting to put distance between them so he can maybe move on one day, but rather than being an adult and explaining to Jiangwoo that he wants space, they do this constant song and dance of Jiangwoo pursuing and Sei Yuen running away. Even over 24 episodes, it gets very tiring. Add on the final runaway for Sei Yuen, which was based on the wildest leap in logic I've ever seen. Long story short, they end up having sex, and when Sei Yuen wakes up, he's alone in Jiangwoo's house and assumes this is because Jiangwoo was embarrassed and wanted to avoid Sei Yuen. And this whole thing is super frustrating. It's even more disappointing because there's a very thoughtful and beautiful episode where we see their relationship and feelings from both sides and how that changes and shifts over their lives until the climax. It was surprisingly deep for such a superficial story, and the nonsensical nature of the rest of the story wholly overshadowed it. It's very disappointing. I will say though, the side story is a real treat. They're framed as a webtoon Sei Yuen is working on, which I love, and completely changes the setting and overall story. It's an idol love story, and it even features their mutual friend in a relationship of his own. It's super smutty and much shorter than the main story, but it makes so much more sense than the main story. Really, I think the side story is far superior to the main, which is rare. If anything, the side story makes me all the more disappointed in the main story because it shows just how much better it could have been, but here we are.